Intro to African Instruments. Instruments are a part of their culture. They're used for cultural and religious traditions. They use handcrafted instruments, and they usually play as a community, which is different from us. Their musical traditions can include drumming, vocalization, dancing, and various instruments. And here is an example. I love the bright colors. Okay. Some instruments include the djembe. Obviously, it's spelled different than you say it. The djembe is a rope-tuned skin-covered goblet drum played with bare hands. It's originally from West Africa, and the name of the drum comes from the African saying that translates, "Everyone gathers in peace to make music." And drummers use it to tell stories and almost make the drum talk. So here's an example. Okay. He's using the metal part to make a percussion sound. Okay. Then we have the udu, which is one of my favorites. I've actually had students make me some from back when Mrs. Kennedy was teaching at LMIS. And so udu means pot to be played. It is pottery made from clay by African women, and they usually have religious purposes. Mine, I'll play later for you in a video, and it was made by students for non-religious purposes. A lot of people think you blow through it, but you don't. You hit it, you strike it. And then we have the shekere. It's a percussion instrument that's played by striking the bottom of the instrument and moving it back and forth. It comes in different varieties. The shekere is an instrument from West Africa, and it consists of a dry gourd with beads woven into a net covering the gourd. And he does a great job of explaining how to play it.
I'm going to show you how to play the shekere. Shekere is a wonderful instrument that comes from West Africa, in the area like Sierra Leone, Nigeria, where long time ago, the first drums, believe it or not, were gourds. Gourds being pounded at births, ceremonies, and just working in the field using to accompany songs. How you play the shekere is very simple. And again, you must try to be really relaxed. You are going to use the palm of your hand to strike the bottom of this instrument while holding it at the top. So it's almost like holding a baby. Okay? So you rest it down on your palm. You have a drum sounding note. But also you did hear the beats. So you move the shekere around like so. And you start getting a little music.
All right.
And it makes me feel really good to do that.
Okay. And then we have the mbira. It's from Zimbabwe, and it's a traditional African, used for traditional African music. It's a percussion instrument, and you pluck the keys with your fingers. And I actually I don't know if I'll get to zoom up on that, but it actually has notes. But notice how it goes, instead of ours go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like on the piano or another instrument. Theirs goes back and forth, and it's like A, B, C, D, so it goes back and forth and not in a row. So here's a homemade one. I actually have one I would like to play for you later. Here is an example. He actually vocalizes too. Vocalization is huge with African music too. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Oh, sorry. There he is, vocalizing. Okay, so that was the mbira. All right. And then we have the talking drum. And the talking drum is an African instrument known for its hourglass shape, and it originated from West Africa. The talking drum is an instrument that can mimic tone, rhythm, intonation, and stress of human speech. So it's really, I have one, and you squeeze the sides. If you remember, we discussed from Trinidad, where they took away the slaves and people's instruments, and it was the talking drum. They thought they were conspiring to have a revolution, and they took away their instruments, and that's where the steel drum was a necessity that they made, but they took away these instruments that they were playing in Trinidad. So
my name is BC Adeleke. I am from the Yoruba people of Nigeria, where this talking drum is originated.
Oh, I wanted BC to.
My name is BC Adeleke. I am from the Yoruba people of Nigeria, where this talking drum is originated.
You squeeze the ropes with your arm while hitting it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson on African instruments. There's one more. It's the ivory horn. It's actually my least favorite. It's made from the tusks of elephants, and this is what it sounds like and looks like. It just makes me sad because I like elephants. All right. I hope you enjoyed our African instrument intro.